Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be learning a little bit more about SCP-015-IT, better known as the Boogeyman.
Man is in the middle of one of his regular night jogs through the park.
That kind of looks like me.
He loves running through this park at night. It's dark, the air is cool, and the sounds of the city that surround the park disappear.
Okay.
Offering peace, quiet, and a small reprieve from the busy world.
This is kind of scared. I guess he's in Italy.
Along a path that
Italian man.
The park and starts upon a section that is surrounded on both sides
What is
by
that in the
trees.
distance?
He follows the path around a sharp bend and is stopped in his tracks. Standing there in the middle of the track is a figure.
Is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
And isn't moving.
Probably
He's
not.
tall and so uniformly black that he almost disappears into the night. Whoever or whatever this is, he's scared of it. But the creature doesn't move, and neither does he. He's frozen, unsure of what to do, when the creature suddenly turns his head towards him, revealing a pair of bright, glowing eyes.
Okay, it's time to skedaddle, actually. Yeah, get out of there. You should really leave.
Get away from the creature.
Dude, get out of there!
Its body towards him,
oh my gosh.
Begins stepping forward. The runner scrambles
oh my gosh, dude, he's got to run.
Sprinting as hard and as fast as he can. Adrenaline pumping, heart pounding.
Comment down below what you guys would do in this situation.
Between himself and that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I would call 911 immediately. I don't know why he's not like talking to somebody.
Finally,
I would
back at his house.
I mean, he did good, right? So he turned around, he ran, he got out of there as fast as possible, but he's wearing headphones, which makes you believe that he's listening to music on some sort of phone, unless he's weird and he has like an iPod Nano from 1992. But okay, so he should have probably pulled out a phone, called 911, been like, hey, there's this I don't know, grizzly bear looking creature in the park. We should probably call PETA and get them out here to decide what to do with it. But he did everything else right. He ran home. He's doing okay. Hopefully, he didn't get followed. But we know how these SCP videos normally go. And I have a bad feeling this guy's not going to survive the night.
He bursts through the door, locking and bolting it behind him. His girlfriend is reading on the couch and doesn't understand what's going on. After struggling to catch
Jeremy,
his breath,
you
he
okay?
tries to explain what he saw on the path. But his girlfriend just laughs. A giant man with glowing eyes. He was just seeing things in the dark.
Seriously? Seriously, girlfriend? Seriously, Susie? You're gonna laugh? After your boyfriend, covered in mud, he's sweating from head to toe, he looks like the abominable melting snowman right now, just told you a very serious story about how he was getting chased by a giant creature with glowing eyes. All right, even if you don't believe him, you should probably, I don't know, be a little bit more supportive and be like, hey dude, it's gonna be okay. I don't know what you saw, maybe you saw something, or maybe you were seeing things, but if anything, he is very scared right now, and he could probably use a hug.
It was probably a dog, nothing that would justify the panic he was now in.
That was not a dog.
The next day, he's left wondering if he really was mistaken. Those piercing, glowing eyes are burned into his mind, though. Maybe his girlfriend was right, and it really was just a dog.
No,
yes,
she's gaslighting him.
His mind was just playing tricks on him.
Don't get gaslit,
Even
Jeremy.
So, he's going to stick to running inside, at least for a little while. But he soon finds that he's having a hard time. He notices that he's running out of breath much quicker than normal. Is he coming down with something? He doesn't feel sick, but then why is he suddenly so weak?
Okay, guys, I wonder if this is kind of similar to some other SCPs that we've studied in the past, where you don't even really have to interact with the SCP. Some SCPs, all you have to do is look at them, and then you'll be infected with whatever this virus is that they can spread. So I'm starting to think that maybe all you have to do to get infected by the Boogeyman is to look at him. And then maybe, I don't know, this is a wild theory, but maybe if you look at the Boogeyman, you'll become the next Boogeyman. Like maybe sooner than later, he'll become this giant beast that has like fur all over and has really big glowing eyes. And he just spends his nights in the park waiting for other people to infect.
2 weeks have passed since he saw something in the park. No one he brought it up to, not his friends, not his co-workers, have ever heard of such a thing.
What?
And no one seemed like they believed him either. At this
Seriously?
point, he was feeling sure that he really did imagine it.
This guy needs new friends.
That image of whatever it was out of his head. He can't keep running on a treadmill forever, though. He misses his night runs. It's time to get over his fear. He's running.
Okay, also, guys, the main thing that I'm thinking is, like, just don't run in the same spot. Like, if you're gonna go out on a night run, that's fine. Go to, like, a more populated area. Go to, like, a little part of the city that has lots of people, so then it's not gonna be as scary. You don't have to go back to the same park where it is pitch black and there is a potential boogeyman that is going to get you. You don't have to do that. Just go somewhere else.
To the park again, enjoying the silence and the light breeze on his skin. He continues down the path, acutely aware that he's getting closer and closer to the
this
spot
guy's
where he saw
dead.
that thing before.
This guy is so
He
dead.
can't stop, though. He has to prove to everyone that he's not afraid. He has to.
You
prove it
should
to
be
himself.
afraid.
He reaches the part of the path that runs through the tall trees. Just like before, the sounds of the city melt
Stupid
away.
Italian
The only
man.
sound coming from his steady, heavy breathing. He
Dead.
follows the winding path.
He's dead.
And feels his heart starting to race.
He's dead. Turn
He has
around.
to keep going.
Turn around, dude.
He rounds the same corner. And nothing is there.
Oh my gosh. No.
He slows to a stop. Of course nothing is here. Nothing ever was. He really did imagine it. Or did he?
Doctor, but yeah, there he is. There he is. He was trying to get my guard down. I knew it. I knew
From the
it.
Italian branch of the SCP Foundation. SCP-015-IT. Also known as the Boogeyman.
So the Boogeyman is an Italian man.
SCP-015-IT
Interesting.
is a humanoid entity that stands just under 2 meters tall. Its body is devoid of any hair, and its dark, black skin absorbs 98% of all light.
Italian men are
virtually
scary.
Invisible in low light. Its head lacks a nose or ears, but these missing features are hardly noticed.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a very burnt version of Shy Guy.
Because if you see 015-IT, its eyes are what demand all of your attention. While the Boogeyman's skin is completely black, its eyes contain light-producing organs on the irises.
That is
causing
weird.
them to glow in the dark, like a deep-sea predator.
Ah,
Its
okay.
mouth contains 8 pointed teeth on both the upper and lower jaws.
That's
and
it?
a long 28-centimeter forked tongue.
Okay, this
The
thing
two
is just
tips of its
venom.
tongue each have a hollow needle-like organ that leads straight into its esophagus.
Oh,
More on what it
okay.
does with that specialized biological feature soon. Physically, SCP-015-IT is rather slight,
Yeah,
but it is
weak.
surprisingly strong.
Skips
and
leg
easily
day.
able to overpower an adult human.
Oh.
Its skinny arms are much longer than an average human's, and each of its 4 fingers ends in a razor-sharp claw. It has also been shown to be quite resistant to physical injuries, and possesses the ability to heal wounds and damage to internal organs at a hyper-accelerated rate.
Okay, so I need to see this thing, the Boogeyman, versus Shy Guy. Comment down below who you think would win. Personally, I think Shy Guy, but I mean, this thing seems like Shy Guy, like maybe had a brother or something, and they seem very similar.
SCP-015-IT is primarily active at night, which is unsurprising given its skin's natural camouflage in the dark. The Boogeyman hunts mammals, with humans being its preferred prey, but it does not feed on flesh. Instead, SCP-015-IT draws its sustenance from the adrenaline and noradrenaline produced by its quarry.
Oh.
Adrenaline and noradrenaline are chemicals the body produces to increase heart rate, blood flow, and provide more energy to the muscles in moments of stress.
So that's kind of like, I'm pretty sure, Pennywise from the movie and the book It, where he's not actually that dangerous if you're not scared of him. Like, he feeds off of fear and adrenaline and the fact that, like, he'll look at your worst fears and then scare you, and then that makes him more powerful. But if you're not scared of him, then he won't actually hurt you, which is pretty strange.
Or in the case of SCP-015-IT, extreme fear. And it has developed a hunting method to cause this exact reaction in humans. 015-IT will usually hide in dark spots, trying to keep out of sight as much as possible.
That makes sense.
Its next victim.
Everybody is pretty scared of the
If
dark.
it has been able to remain unseen, it will wait for a moment when its prey has become distracted, so it can silently approach them. Once close enough, it will leap towards its unaware victim, grab them, and quickly bite them on the side of the torso, near where the adrenal gland is located. It uses its large teeth to anchor its mouth in place, as it uses the needles on its forked tongue to probe into their body.
No.
With one needle,
Ew.
it pierces directly into the adrenal gland and begins draining the blood that is now rich with
Wow.
fear-induced adrenaline. At the exact same time, the other needle releases a mild sedative, allowing 015-IT to feed and then depart without risk, as the victim remains immobile.
Wow.
Another anomalous...
So it doesn't even seem like the victims would die, right? I mean, like they got like a giant bite in their side, but it's kind of like a snake bite almost. Just like instead of with 2 teeth, 2 fangs, it's like 8 fangs in your body. It probably doesn't feel that great, but it doesn't look like this thing is like chomping away. It's more like just trying to grab you and then stick the needle in you, steal your adrenaline, and then just leave and then do it again. Like, it doesn't want to kill you, I don't think.
Effect occurs when someone is unlucky enough to actually see the boogeyman. Roughly 2 weeks after observing the creature, the person who saw it will begin experiencing various detrimental mental effects, including hallucinations and panic attacks.
Okay,
Some
so it
will
does
also
infect
begin
your
to
mind.
Experience physical issues, most often damage to the cardiovascular system. It is unknown why exactly these mental and physical effects occur, but it is theorized that SCP-015-IT may use it as a way to weaken certain prey that it considers too strong or potentially dangerous.
That makes sense.
In 2011, the boogeyman was actually contained.
What?
By the SCP Foundation. The Brotherhood of St. George's Knights is a secret order in the Catholic Church that was created by the Pope in the year 453.
Okay.
To contain or eliminate all anomalies.
So the church caught the boogeyman. Just to make that abundantly clear, the church, not the SCP Foundation. It was the church.
It was this group that first captured SCP-015-IT, which they designated as DIA-212, in line with their own classification system. While it was in their containment, they made a number of discoveries about the creature that they labeled as a shadow demon.
Look at it in the background.
First, they found that while it feeds on the fear of its victims by ingesting their blood, it doesn't actually require this to survive. DIA-212, as they call it, is an unstable entity, and feeding allows it to maintain its physical shape in our reality.
Okay.
In addition to its impressive physical strength, the boogeyman is also quite intelligent, as seen by its ability to successfully hunt, attack, and...
So I don't know if you guys caught that, but Dr. Bob said that it needs to feed to keep its form in our reality, which kind of makes me think that maybe this creature is not from our reality at all. Maybe it's from an alternate dimension, a parallel universe, and for whatever reason, or like, yeah, just it's not from here, but in order to stay here, it needs to feed, which is why it does.
Escape from humans. Strangely, it also appears to be resistant to weapons which have been blessed, causing only a fraction of the physical damage that they should when compared to a similar, non-holy version.
So this thing is a demon.
During the course of research into the creature, Father Ilardi, a member of the Brotherhood of St. George's Knights, wrote that despite the creature being repugnant beyond every limit, he believed that it had a gentle soul, and that its screams are similar to a pained cry. He postulated that SCP-015-IT may have even once been a human before some dark force transformed it into the monster that it had become.
No
He
way.
decided that it was his mission to find a way to communicate with the creature, and one day, bring it back into the light and love of his god. Father Ilardi was making good progress with the creature.
How?
And it seemed like it was even growing fond of him and his disciples.
No, guys. We already talked about how this thing is intelligent. This thing clearly understood what the pastor wanted, and then was just doing the things that it thought it had to do to get the trust of the pastor, so that he could just break out and then do the exact same thing all over again. Like, I think that it's actually way smarter than we think.
His advances were halted when they were attacked by a group of soldiers from the Fascist Council of the Occult,
or maybe not,
group that seeks to use anomalies as weapons in their quest to disrupt the social order. In the attack, several of the Brotherhood were killed, and in the commotion, SCP-015-IT escaped. Following this, reports soon began to come from the province of Caserta that described what sounded like vampire attacks. A mobile task force was
that's
sent to
the
boogeyman! While 015-IT was initially able to make use of its various physical abilities to evade and escape capture, it was eventually shot with a transmitter that allowed it to be tracked.
What?
The Italian mobile task force was able to surround the creature, but fearing being contained again, it responded with a level of violence that it had not been thought capable of. Several members of the task force were killed in the line of duty before the boogeyman could finally be subdued.
Okay, so back to what I was saying earlier, I don't think the Boogeyman is as strong as Shy Guy. Shy Guy, even though Shy Guy I think was contained, Shy Guy is a monster when it is trying to attack and hurt somebody else. Like if you look at Shy Guy, it will literally be able to break out of anything and it will find you and end you. But for Boogeyman, I don't think Boogeyman is like as powerful as Shy Guy anymore. But comment down below what you think.
Today, SCP-015-IT is contained at Site Vittoria in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. Since this anomaly is both sentient and highly unpredictable in its behavior, it has been classified as Euclid. It is kept in a standard humanoid entity containment cell and is monitored by video cameras and infrared sensors at all times. Due to the light-absorbing properties of its skin, its cell and the adjacent corridors are painted white and are to be kept well lit at all times.
Smart.
Twice a day, SCP-015-IT is given a normal domestic pig that it is allowed to feed on. Any personnel assigned to 015-IT duty must undergo a psychological assessment on a weekly basis, and, regardless of the results, must be cycled out after 3 months of exposure to the Boogeyman.
That makes sense.
Go and watch another
well, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. That is the Boogeyman, aka SCP-015.